All right, for today's math lesson, we are actually going to go back into quizzes. I'm going to do this on my screen, so you're not actually going to quizzes. You don't need to open quizzes, but I'm going to take you back to quizzes, and we're going to look at our most missed questions from yesterday. So I took the 6 questions that I saw we had the most trouble with, that we were choosing different answers, and I wanted to clear up some misconceptions with them, just so we're all on the same page and you guys are good to go to do your graded activity for geometry. So I took out the questions you guys did amazing on, and left the ones that we had some trouble with. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. I'm going to talk you through my process. So remember, when you're playing quizzes, you can turn on read aloud. So it's green right now. So if I were to leave it green, then it would read me the questions and the answer choices. So if you want them read aloud to you, that's definitely an option for you. I want to read them, so I'm turning them off. All right, here we go. So my first question, let me see if I can turn off the sound here. That way you don't have to hear them, both of us, is what is the label for these figures? When I'm looking at the picture, I see a 4-sided shape, I see I see lots of different sides. So they're not 4-sided shapes, so they cannot be quadrilaterals. The next choice was 3D shapes. Remember, 3D shapes are fat. They have depth. They would stick out. These shapes are flat, so they cannot be 3D. My next one is polygons. I'm going to hop over right here. Look at my old anchor chart, and it says polygons are 2D shapes, no curves, closed shapes, straight lines. When I look at this, I see straight lines, no curved, closed, so they could be polygons, but I'm going to check them all. My last one is parallelogram. Let me find parallelogram. Parallelograms are opposite sides are equal length and parallel, opposite angles are equal, and they're quadrilaterals. So I noticed that I only have one parallelogram here. The rest of these are not. So these must all be polygons because they're all straight sides, no curves, they're closed shapes. Next up, what is a hexagon? I know I have an anchor chart for this. Let me go peek. Hexagon is a 6-sided figure, and even show me in the picture a hexagon. So a hexagon is a new ice cream flavor. That's a silly one. That's a bozo. A hexagon is an 8-sided figure with 8 vertices. Even when I look at that picture, I notice there's not 8 sides and 8 vertices. A hexagon is a fancy word for beehive. Another bozo trying to trick you because of that picture they used. Hexagon is not a word for beehive, but a beehive does have the shape of a hexagon in it. Finally, a hexagon is a 6-sided figure with 6 vertices. Yep, that looks like it could be it. 6 sides, 6 vertices, that is a hexagon. Next up, which one of these shapes is a quadrilateral and a parallelogram? Now I know quadrilateral means 4 sides. Quadrilateral, 4 sides. It says quadrilateral and a parallelogram. So parallelogram, opposite sides are equal, and parallel, opposite angles are equal. So first, quadrilateral, 4 sides. Could this be a quadrilateral? Or is it? Yes, it is. Is this a quadrilateral? Nope. Quadrilateral? Yes. Quadrilateral? Nope. So I now have my blue shape and my purple shape left. Now I need parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel. That means they would never touch. I am looking here at this kite, and I see that they curve, meaning, or they not curve, they lean in towards each other. So if these were to keep going to outer space, they would eventually touch. So they would intersect. So this purple shape is my only one that's a quadrilateral, and top and the bottom are parallel, side and side are parallel. They would never touch. Next question, is a square a rectangle? Let me go back and look at our rules for rectangle. Rectangle, opposite sides are equal and parallel, and all angles are right angles. Those are like our square angles. So for a square, are my opposite sides parallel and equal length? Is this the same length as this, and is it parallel? Yep. How about my top and my bottom? Are they the same length and parallel? Yep. And do they have those square corners? They sure do. So a square is a type of rectangle. It's like a special rectangle. So my answer choice, this one says no, so I automatically know I can eliminate that. My next two say yes. So yes, because the square is a special rectangle. Squares fit the definition of a rectangle. That's what we just did. We looked at the definition of a rectangle. It fit, but let's just check the next one to be sure. Yes, because the square is smaller than the rectangle. Well, this has nothing to do with the size, because I could have a giant square, like if I'm thinking like the tile on my floor, but the rectangle, like a Hershey bar, would be smaller. So that doesn't even make sense. So yes, because the square is a special rectangle and the square fits the definition of a rectangle. Next up, which figure is not a quadrilateral? If I need to go back and check, I sure can. Quadrilateral, 4 sides. This shape has 4 sides. It is a quadrilateral. This shape has 4 sides. It is a quadrilateral. This shape has 4 sides. It is a quadrilateral. This shape does not have 4 sides. This is not a quadrilateral. That word not is important here. All right, last question to go over together. Which of the following is a rectangular prism? Rectangular prism, 6 faces, 12 edges, 8 vertices. It has 2 square faces and 4 rectangular faces. Can be all rectangles because technically a square is a rectangle. So let's go back and look. Oh, there, I see a triangle here. That can't be a rectangular prism. Here I see a square, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangular faces. That could be it. Now this is 2-dimensional. We know rectangular prisms are 3-dimensional. And here we go. Here is a cube. We don't have all of the rectangles like this one does. So this would be our best option for a rectangular prism. Let's see. Oh man, I thought I was going to get up to at least second or third. So during that, going through those questions, these are things we know. But however, I know when it's all put together, sometimes it's a little more challenging to keep the information straight. Remember, I never expect you to memorize all the things. We have resources like our anchor charts. You saw me in this lesson go back and pull up these anchor charts. These are all things that are in Google Classroom. You know I have printed these off. I've done other lessons where I'm actually holding up these printed off from Google Slides. If you can print these, print them. That's great. If you can't, you can always have it open on other tabs like I do and go back and refer to them. Or you could write it down. Find a piece of paper and write these notes. So we know these rules just like we would in our math notebook. The rules help us. So make sure you are using your resources. And I think we're ready to head to our Google Form today. Let's go ahead and get started.